Most people don't get to make $1 billion mistake in their life. But current Dallas Mavericks GM Nico Harrison somehow gets to make at least two.
Man fell upwards all the time.
Back in 2013, Nico, VP of North American Basketball Operations for Nike at the time, botched a pre-MVP Steph Curry pitch that ended up costing the company billions.
What did you say?
Billions. With a B! How? By calling Steph by a different name.
I might have called him Seth.
And by showing a repurposed PowerPoint slide that displayed Kevin Durant's moniker.
You gotta be better, bro. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I like you, but you gotta be better.
Yes, you heard that right. Instead of signing a player who changed the entire game.
Stop tagging me in all these horrible basketball clips of people taking bad shots, talking about I ruined the game. I did not tell y'all to shoot that shot.
En route to becoming a top 10 player of all time, Nike fumbled the $1 billion bag because they called Steph Seth.
That's not my name. That's not my name. That's not my name. That's not my name.
And didn't put the work in to personalize their pitch.
Big mistake. Big mistake.
Steph rightfully took the slight personally, signed with Under Armour, and the rest, as they say, is history.
I'm like my 9th signature shoe. We got a running shoe, a lifestyle shoe. We in the golf now.
So to summarize, the guy representing the #1 sneaker brand in basketball, worn by over 60% of NBA players, couldn't re-sign pre-MVP Steph Curry, whose Nike contract was expiring. And instead of admitting his mistake, Nico thinks Steph Curry made an even bigger one instead.
If he would have stayed with Nike, his business would be a monster right now.
I believe
A monster.
Under Armour, today the Baltimore-based apparel brand, extending their deal with Warrior star Steph Curry to what's expected to result in one of the richest endorsement deals in sports history. There are reports from Rolling Stone that this is what equates to a $1 billion deal with Steph.
Top-notch deflections and astonishing levels of hubris must be the top 2 requirements in an NBA GM job posting, because the Mavericks decided to hand the keys to Nico on June 28th of 2021. His first order of business? Declined to offer Jalen Brunson a 4-year, $55 million extension. Twice.
Before my 4th season in Dallas, my last season in Dallas, we tried to extend our contract, whatever we can get. The most we can get was like 4 years and $55 million. But they were like, we want to see where we're at, like 20, 25 games into the season. But we were like, all right, well, if we're not going to do it, I kind of don't want to do it until after the season. I'm not trying to think about this.
during the season, right?
Yeah, so there's a period where Luka went out and I started to start. And I was playing really well. I think I was averaging like 20 and like 6 maybe, whatever. And so it was about that 20, 25 mark. And so we went back, we're like, hey, like, if the deal's there, we're thinking about it. Like, I'll do it, like right now. And still, it was no.
That's dumb. That is a dumb, stupid, dumb idea.
And then let him walk to the Knicks for absolutely, positively nothing in return.
That's heresy, my friend.
To be fair, the Kyrie gamble and trades for Daniel Gafford and PJ Washington did help the Mavs get to the finals last year, but trading the 25-year-old engine who led your team in points, steals, assists, and minutes in the playoffs, not too shabby for an overweight oaf with a penchant for craft beer and Middle Eastern hookah, doesn't seem like a good place to start to get back to the finals and win.
Nope.
So, they must have gotten a king's ransom for a 25-year-old that is one of only 5 current NBA players with at least 5 NBA all-first team selections. Right?
Nope.
Don't get me wrong. Anthony Davis is an all-star player. But for a team that is shipping off a 25-year-old generational talent over conditioning concerns, I don't know how smart it is to have an almost 32-year-old big man with a medical report longer than War and Peace be your main return in the trade.
Anthony Davis getting hurt does not help assuage the concerns of those people.
Now, according to Nico, this trade is about the now and the future. But when your other star is a diminutive, injury-prone guard nearing his 33rd birthday, who also happens to have a June opt-out in his contract, you better win now. Like, right now. And Luka better not rattle off 2 to 3 championships over the next decade. But seriously, it's been in my,
Why exactly?
I have so many questions. So many questions. Like, did Nico lose a bet? Or, more specifically, maybe he had a large gambling debt from a boozy summer league night out with Pelinka, and this is payback. Or he made a blood oath with Rob Pelinka back in 2019.
Let us seal this alliance in a blood oath
to ensure Kobe didn't leave Nike to create the rumored Mamba sneaker company. Is this trade Rob's recompense? I mean, that would make so much more sense. And I wouldn't blame it. But this trade, in the basketball terms, straight up makes zero sense. Trading Luka Doncic for Anthony Davis is like selling your new Ferrari for a used Suburban because, the Suburban seats more people.
True.
Again, Anthony Davis is a super talented player when healthy. He's an elite defender, an offensive force in the paint, one of the best rebounding big men in the game. But it's when he's healthy. Huge asterisk.
Anthony Davis missed the final 13 and a half minutes of the game with a left adductor strain, but he seemed optimistic after the game. So what is the latest on his status?
Howdy, Shanae. He was optimistic. Unfortunately, he was wrong. He thought this might be a day-to-day type of injury. He said, I'm fine. It's a left adductor strain. He's going to miss at least multiple weeks, as Shams and I reported yesterday. They hope it's not more than a month.
And at almost 32 years old, he's only got 2 prime years left. On the flip side, Luka is about to turn 26, which means he hasn't even entered his prime yet. He's still years away from reaching his pinnacle, which could be somewhere in the greatest players ever penthouse. Top 15, maybe even top 10. Reports say Dallas was terrified of signing Luka to the 5-year, $345 million Supermax over his lack of conditioning.
Fat Luka is better than 99.9% of all the guards in the game. So, in shape Luka, 5 years, first team NBA. Fat Luka or this out of shape Luka, first team All NBA 5 years.
Come on, could he lose a few pounds? Of course. Most of us could lose a few pounds. But me even more than a few. But if his game was predicated on speed and quickness, you may have an argument. But have you watched his game? Even at 19, it's slow motion mastery. It's not like he's ever been prime D Rose or Westbrook on the fast break or in the half court. His skills will age well, even if he continues to enjoy the occasional craft beer and hookah rip postgame. I get being nervous about paying a guy in his mid to late 30s $70 million a year. But the Supermax extension would have ended by the end of Luka's age 32 season. The end of his prime. Or how old AD is right now.
That's not good.
Even if the Mavs Magic 8-Ball guaranteed the imminent demise of Luka, you gotta put him on the auction block in the offseason and get a bigger, better, and younger return. Nico is the one hitting that hookah pipe a little too hard if he thinks they are winning a championship in Dallas this year, even if Kyrie and AD are fully healthy.
And it's a big if.
And who says Kyrie, who wanted to join LeBron in LA before and after his trade to Dallas, doesn't opt out to join LeBron and Luka this summer? I mean, what does Nico, the maestro, do then?
I want my old job back. I want my old parking space back. I want a Sebring.
They don't make him anymore.
And I want Charles gone.
Draft replacements with all those awesome draft picks they got in the Luka trade and have in their arsenal? Lakers going to be pretty good with Luka. And it might be possible if they controlled any of their own draft picks from 2027 to 2030.
They don't.
How about free agents?
Doubt it.
Even at Dirk's apex, Dallas and its zero state income tax couldn't lure big free agents to the Lone Star State. So this move is so miscalculated. The Rob Pelinka blood oath theory is becoming more and more plausible.
Maybe. Maybe not.
I mean, it makes a lot of sense. And I wouldn't blame him. No matter how we dissect it, in basketball terms, this trade is a blunder of epic proportions that will spawn more docu-series on your favorite streaming services than NBA championships for the Mavericks over the next decade. Picking out can't-miss athletic basketball freaks for sneaker deals is easy. MJ, Shaq, Kobe, LeBron, Wemby, anybody with 2 eyes and a TV could pick them out. Discovering and nurturing the outliers is much harder when they come in non-prototypical shapes, sizes, and athletic profiles. Jalen Brunson, Steph Curry, Luka Doncic, Nico Harrison dropped them all off on the island of misfit toys.
We're all misfits!
Their common denominator? 99th percentile NBA skill and basketball IQ, but average NBA athleticism and physical measurables.
You're average.
Nico's blind spot will eventually get him. But don't worry. I'm sure the Lakers or Nike give him an even better job.
I will fail. Upwards.
And if you're a Mavericks fan, well, I don't know. Maybe start looking into other hobbies. There's extreme ironing. Beekeeping. Because watching your adopted Slovenian son in purple and gold for the next decade winning championships, it's going to be downright excruciating.
I'm gonna kill myself!
That's an overreaction.
As always, I'm Freddy, and you're welcome.